It's like, why do we need to delete stuff? You know, information is there so we can learn. If you're withholding information, you're stealing and you're being selfish. Are you selfish, May? If they made this into a film, oh God. Greeting YouTube universe. Je m'appelle Judaku. Aujourd'hui, je parle le livre. I will be doing a book review on The Circle by Dave Eggers, and I read this book in 2015, towards the end of 2015, December, and let me tell you, this book revolves around, it doesn't say what year it's based in, but it's a dystopian society, or what moves on to be a dystopian society. That's not a spoiler, but kind of. I haven't read this book in ages, so I'm just going to read the bibliography. What is this thing called? Bibliography. I'm too much in dissertation mode. The Circle runs everything, all your internet activity, in one easy, safe, and visible place. No wonder it is now the world's most powerful and influential company. So when May Holland lands a job at its glittering California campus, she knows she's made it. But the more her ideals and ambitions become aligned with those of the Circle, the closer she comes to discovering a sinister truth at the heart of an organization seeking to remake the world in its image. Okay, so the main character of this book is May. I imagined her as Asian, but because of the way her name is spelt, May, as in M-A-E. So yeah, May's the main character. I would say her character within the book, she feels as if she has no purpose. She's done so many jobs, can't remember how many jobs she's done, just office jobs, and she doesn't really enjoy doing those jobs. A friend of hers that she went to university with, who is rich and has a very good job because of coming from an influential background. Her name is, I can't remember her name. What's her name? Of course, her name is Annie. So yeah, she's a blonde, tall, very good looking chick, blah, 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 rich. May seeks, Annie's like, yo, can you hook a sister up with a job? I'm tired of working these office jobs. And so Annie works for The Circle, a very influential company. I imagine it as the company being Apple, like Apple branching out into different avenues, such as basically they've created a space within the internet where all your accounts can be. So like your PayPal account, your Tumblr, your Twitter, all you need to do is just do one login and your accounts are all connected. And when I read this, I was like, this doesn't sound so bad. But as you progress further into the book, you understand that it is bad. I've noticed in the book, there's a lot of Christian ideology within the book, even with The Circle, like the use of numbers, like exact numbers. So in my head, I'm having to read the numbers as 900 and 9,000. And I feel like the use of putting numbers is to tell the reader that all of this information doesn't matter, because within the book, there is this certain reoccurring motif that we need to know more about the world in order to be sure of ourselves. Even with the fact that they've created a device where, this device where you can watch people from around the world. It's like this really tiny device. It's not traceable, and they plant it in different parts of the world to see all the violence that's going on. So they planted one in Egypt, and I just found that concept scary but very clever. But scary again because this is a spoiler. May goes out kayaking when she's really stressed from work, from The Circle. The kayaking place is closed. And so she sees one kayak out and she's like, oh, I know the owner, so she won't mind if I, take it out. She goes back to work she gets arrested for doing that because the owner actually has one of those little camera thingies and sees someone kayaking and calls the police. But the owner's son, sorry. And so the owner's like, oh no, I know her. It's okay. She ain't got to do all that. And when she goes into work's like, oh, you got arrested. We know you weren't charged, but we know that you stole the kayak. She's like, how the goodness gracious do these people know that? And it's because they've been watching, and it just gets, oh my gosh, you need to read this book because knowledge, is that, could that be a theme? No, information death, sex. Yeah, sex is a very strong theme within this book. Control, very controlling, very dystopian society. Characters within this book. May. I do not like May's character development at all. The way it ends pisses me off because throughout the book we don't actually understand. Throughout the book we don't understand what is motivating May or what is making May act this way. She feels as though she hasn't fulfilled her purpose in life, and although towards the end of the book we realize that being in the circle has fulfilled her purpose because she feels acknowledged, she feels that she can get the information that she needs in life and blah blah blah, but we still do not understand her as a character. As well as that, I don't feel like there's a proper conclusion. It ends with evil winning, and I'm a bit of a, I'm very romantic and like good to conquer evil, so I didn't really like the fact that the bad guys won. But May joined the bad guys, and we don't understand why. She was given, oh my gosh, she was given an opportunity, to conquer the bad guys, but she was like, nope, I'm getting all this attention on social media and cult references, religious references, mostly to Christianity, like three wise men, use of the circle, Holy Trinity, three wise men as well, and just a lot of Christian imagery within this book connected to science. So that's what I liked, the fact that they mixed, there's hints of religion and science within the book. But yeah, very good book. It mixes postmodernism, dystopian society, religion, sex. But I give this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars just because of May's character. And I don't know what happens to Annie towards the end because lots of things happen to her, like negative stuff like owning slaves. She ends up in hospital. Annie ends up in hospital. So I would have wanted to know what happens beyond that. Unless there's a second, The Circle, but I don't think there should be a second one. But I still feel that it should have ended on a very, note. Standard as in, you don't need to know, like a fairy tale, they lived happily ever after. I want to know what goes on afterwards, but I guess we do know what happens. The circle conquers all, and we have to share all information. Never mind. But yeah, I suggest you read this book. Reviewed by yours truly, Judaku. I hope you enjoyed this book review. They'll be better because I wouldn't have waited 2 months in order to review a book. Alright, hallelujah, praise the Lord.